Welcome to the BISP Solutions. So, our today's scenario is impairment loss in statement of financial position. Impairment describes a reduction in the value of a company's asset, either fixed or intangible, so as to reflect a decline in the quality, quantity, or market value of the asset. Impairment means a reduction in the value of the company's asset. It can be fixed or intangible. Fixed asset means building, land, plant and machinery, furniture, fixtures, and intangible means goodwill, patent, copyright, etc. So, what is goodwill? The difference between the amount that the company paid for the asset and the book value of the asset is known as goodwill. Goodwill means we are paying more than the recorded value of the asset, and the difference amount which we are paying more is for the goodwill. Goodwill impairment. Goodwill impairment occurs when a company decides to pay more than the book value for the acquisition of the asset and then the value of that asset declines. That means when the carrying amount exceeds the recoverable amount. Carrying amount means the book value of the asset. When it exceeds the recoverable amount, when the asset will be sold, the net selling price is less than the book value, then we have to do the impairment because the value is overstated. So to come to the correct value, we need to do the impairment. That means when the carrying amount exceeds the fair market value of the asset, it's referred to as impaired asset. Impairment may occur if the assets acquired no longer generate the financial results that were previously expected of them at the time of the purchase. So, goodwill is the most common type of asset that is checked for impairment. For example, let's assume that company XYZ purchases company ABC. XYZ is the purchaser company. If the fair value of the company ABC is less than the book value, that is, if the company XYZ were to sell the company ABC today, it wouldn't get a price equal to or greater than its recorded value. Then it must make a goodwill impairment. Why? Because it has paid more, and when it is selling, if it will sell today, then it will not get that much amount than it is showing in the books. So to show the correct amount in the books, impairment of goodwill must be done. Now the reasons of impairment can be many. That is, deterioration in economic conditions. Economic conditions have reduced or deteriorated. Increased competition. Loss of key personnel. Key personnel is a person who performs essential functions in your business. So key person, if it becomes unable to work or dies, then business will result in a loss of revenue. That is also the reason for impairment. And regulatory actions, like regulatory situations or conditions have changed, which will lead to the impairment. Goodwill can represent a large part of the company's value or net worth. If a company doesn't test for the goodwill impairment, it could overstate its value or net worth. Since goodwill is an intangible asset, treating it like a normal asset and amortizing it doesn't give a clear picture so as to value of the investment. So it needs to be tested for the impairment once a year. Now, what's the entry for the goodwill impairment? Impairment loss account debit to goodwill, debit to the loss on the impairment, and credit to the asset. This loss will reduce the income in income statement, and simultaneously it will reduce the total assets on the balance sheet. We'll see this through an Excel example. Air Limited is a purchaser and Dry Limited is a subsidiary company. Their balance sheet is given as on 31st December 2020. Inventories, trade asset side, it is given inventory, trade receivables, cash and bank balance, equipment, investment in subsidiaries of 5 lakh. Liability side, share capital, retained earnings pre and post are given, and trade payables are given. Adjustments. Date of acquisition is 1st January 2020 and the balance sheet is 31st December. That means it is following the calendar year. Air Limited purchased 80% shares in Dry Limited. Now, the fair value of the net assets of subsidiaries 80,000 at the time of acquisition, and the fair value of the net asset of subsidiary reduced to 60,000 on the date of the balance sheet. So this is a indication of the goodwill impairment. Goods costing rupees 1 lakh sold by Air Limited, that is holding company, to subsidiary at rupees 1 lakh 20,000, means 20,000 was the profit earned by the Air Limited. 60% unsold stock lies with the dry limited. Okay, so now first we'll calculate the AOP, particulars, pre, post, and totals. We'll see in the balance sheet retain earning pre post is already given, 70,000 is pre and 85,000 is post. 70 pre, 85,000 post, and no other further treatment is given for the AOP. So we'll just bifurcate this. 70,000 holding share is 80%, minority 20%. Similarly, which we'll just calculate 70,000.8.2. So this is the holding and minority, and similarly in post side also we'll do 85,000 into 80%, 20%. Okay, now we'll calculate the goodwill as we used to do. Investment amount is 5 lakh. See, investment amount is 5 lakh less share capital. Share capital of subsidiary company is 4 lakh. Our share is 80%. So 3,20,000 less pre-acquisition profit 56,000. We'll just write down that is investment less net assets. How much of investment is the amount we have paid and less net asset that we have acquired. So goodwill is 1,24,000. But we have seen there was one adjustment that the fair value of the net asset has reduced. So we'll do that. Fair value of the net asset at acquisition was 80. Fair value of net asset on balance sheet it was 60,000. So there was a loss, impairment loss of 20,000. Earlier the goodwill was one before this impairment loss. Goodwill was 1,24,000, but this is not the correct goodwill. So, because the net assets effect have been included in this goodwill, so we need to reduce that effect, that is 20,000. So, we'll just less the impairment loss. Now, the corrected goodwill or the impaired goodwill is 104,000. It's an intangible asset. It will be shown in the asset side 104,000. Now, we'll see the minority interest. Share capital was 4 lakh and 20% was a minority share, 80,000. Pre-profits we'll just add 14,000, that is for the minority holders, and 17,000 post profits are also for the minority holders. So total minority share is 1,11,000. So it comes in the liability side 1,11,000. Okay, now we'll calculate the consolidated reserves and surplus. Reserves and surplus of holding company is 3 lakh. We'll just add the post profits 868,000. We'll reduce the goodwill impairment because now our profit will reduce. So similarly we have done reduction from goodwill, and it will reduce the reserves and surplus also. So we'll do the subtraction from reserves and surplus side, and less unrealized profit on the stock. We'll see how to calculate. Goods costing 1 lakh was sold by Air Limited to Dry Limited at 1,20,000. Okay, 1 lakh was sold at 1,20,000. 60% stock still lies with the subsidiary company. So 1,20,000 is the 1,20,000 was the selling price for the holding, and 1,20,000 is the cost price for the subsidiary. Okay, so 1,20,000 into 60% means 72,000 stock still lies with the Dry Limited, that is subsidiary. And while consolidating, this stock will be consolidated in the parent company balance sheet. So, and parent company's profit is also included. So we need to eliminate that profit, yeah, because this is the unrealized profit. And we while preparing consolidated balance sheet, we eliminate the intercompany transactions. So this is unrealized profit, we need to reduce it. In 72,000 there's a 12,000 profit included in that, so we need to reduce this profit. How this 12,000 come? 1 lakh was the cost and it was sold at 1,20,000. That means 72,000 out of this 72,000 remains, that this is also the selling price. So in this we'll do the just the cross multiplication, 12,000 will come. So now we need to eliminate this 12,000. So to eliminate this, following entry will be passed: reserves and surplus of parent account debit to stock, because this stock is included in the reserves and surplus of the parent. Yeah, it has real included in the P&L profit. So we have to reduce that. Reserves and surplus balance is credit, so for reducing the 12,000 from reserves and surplus, we need to do the debit. So debit side, reserves and surplus. And in stock also this amount is included, so we'll just reduce from stock. So now credit to the stock 12,000. So reserves and surplus amount less. In reserves and surplus, we'll just deduct unrealized profit on stock, that is 12,000. So consolidated reserves and surplus comes at 3,36,000. Consolidated reserves and surplus 3,36,000, and we will reduce it from the stock as well in consolidated balance sheet. So inventory side, 2,50,000 plus 1,50,000 minus 12,000. Okay, now we just add up all the remaining assets. 1 lakh plus 1,75,000, 1,50,000 plus 1,80,000. Equipment also same, 6 lakh plus 3 lakh. Investment in subsidiary will not, we do not take that amount in consolidated financial statement. Goodwill amount we have already calculated. So total of the asset sides come to 19,97,000. Similarly, share capital of only holding company comes in the consolidated financial statement. We have calculated the consolidated reserves and surplus. This is the non-controlling interest, that is minority interest. We have already calculated trade payables. Just we'll add up both the amounts. So total of the liability side is also 97,000. So our balance sheet is tallied. So this is how we do the impairment loss adjustment. Thank you.